Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day. Don't forget, grab your smartphone and download the Lava Matra app and stay in touch. Guru Maharaj's message is your advantage. The following is a reading from the new Sri Krishna Chaitanya book by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj on June 3rd, 2020 in Sri Mayapur, India.
Makakaro Divachalam Pangulang Hayate Garim Yatidataman Vande Sri Guru Dinatarinam Paramanandamadavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram Hari Om Tatsat. So, today we had the Mayapur Executive Board meeting 5:30 to 7:30.
So today we had the Mayapur Executive Board meeting from 5:30 to 7:30.
That's why the class is late.
That's why the class is late.
Starting tomorrow, we'll have class 5 minutes after the sunset.
Starting tomorrow, we'll have class 5 minutes after the sunset
In India,
in India,
in Mayapur.
in Mayapur.
So today, Lord Chaitanya came with his massive procession
So today, Lord Chaitanya came with this massive procession
to the house of the Chandkazi.
to the house of the Chandkazi.
Now this chapter is
So
entitled
this chapter is entitled Kazi and his men become frightened on hearing the Sankirtan.
কাজীর আত্মগোপন কীর্তনের ধ্বনিতে কাজী লুকাইল ঘরে তর্জন গর্জন শুনি না হয় বাহিরে
English.
The loud sound of the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. The loud sound of the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra certainly made the Qazi very much afraid, and he hid himself within his room. Hearing the people thus protesting, murmuring in great anger, the Qazi would not come out of his home. Purport: the Qazi's order not to perform Sankirtan could stand only as long as there was no civil disobedience. Under the leadership of the Supreme Lord, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the chanters, increasing in number, disobeyed the order of the Qazi. Thousands assembled together and formed parties, chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and making a tumultuous sound of protest. Thus, the Qazi was very much afraid, as naturally one should be under such circumstances. In the present day also, people all over the world may join together in the Krishna consciousness movement and protest against the present degraded governments of the world's godless societies, which are based on all kinds of sinful activities. Srimad Bhagavatam states that in the age of Kali, thieves, rogues, and fourth-class people who have neither education nor culture capture the seats of governments to exploit the citizens. This is a symptom of Kali Yuga that has already appeared. People cannot feel secure about their lives and property, yet the so-called governments continue, and government ministers get fat salaries, although they are unable to do anything good for society. The only remedy for such conditions is to enhance the Sankirtan movement under the banner of Krishna consciousness and protest against the sinful activities of all the world's governments. This Krishna consciousness movement is not a sentimental religious movement, It is a movement for the reformation of all the anomalies of human society. If people take to it seriously, discharging this duty scientifically as ordered by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the world will see peace and prosperity instead of being confused and hopeless under useless governments. There are always rogues and thieves in human society. As soon as a weak government is unable to execute its duties, these rogues and thieves come out to do their business. Thus, the entire society becomes a hell, unfit for gentlemen to live in. There is an immediate need for a good government, a government by the people with Krishna consciousness. Unless the masses of people become Krishna conscious, they cannot be good men. The Krishna consciousness movement that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra still has its potency. Therefore, people should understand it seriously and scientifically and spread it all over the world. The Sankirtan movement started by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is described in the Chaitanya Bhagavat Madhya Khanda 23rd chapter, beginning with the verse 241, which states, "My dear Lord, let my mind be fixed at your lotus feet." Following Lord Chaitanya's chanting, all the devotees reproduced the same sound he chanted. In this way, the Lord proceeded, leading the entire party on the strand roads by the bank of the Ganges. When the Lord came to his own ghat or bathing place, he danced more and more. Then he proceeded to Madhai's ghat. In this way, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Supreme Lord, who is known as Vishwambhara, danced all over the banks of the Ganges. Then he proceeded to Barakona Ghat, then to Nagariya Ghat, and traveling through Ganga Nagara, reached Simulia, a quarter at one end of the town. All these places surround Sri Mayapur. After reaching Simulia, the Lord proceeded towards the Qazi's house, and in this way he reached the door of Chand Qazi.
Haribo!
Haribo!
Gauranga!
Gauranga!
Chaitanya Bhagavat Madhya Khanda.
বাদ্য কোলাহল শ্রবণে কাজীর নিমায়ের বিবাহ অর্থ যাত্রা বলিয়া ধারণা। কাজী বলে হেন বুঝি নিমাই পণ্ডিত বিবাহ করিবারে বা চলিলা কোন ভিত।
Qazi said, I understand. If I fund it, he must be going somewhere to get married.
The Qazi said, I understand that Nimai Pandit must be going somewhere to get married.
এবার নহে মোরে লঙ্ঘি হিন্দু আনি করে তবে জাতি নিমু আজি সবার নগরে।
If they have transgressed my orders and are by engaging in Hindu rituals,
If they have transgressed my orders by engaging in Hindu rituals,
then I will take everyone's I'll force them, I'll be forcefully convert them to Islam.
then I will forcefully convert them to Islam.
All these, everyone in the town.
Everyone who is in the town.
এই মতো যুক্তি কাজী করে সর্বগণে মহাবাদ্য কোলাহল শুনি ততক্ষণে।
And this way, the Qazi was planning with his people.
In this way, the Qazi was planning with his people.
Then at that time, he heard the great tumultuous sound of the kirtan.
Then at that time he heard the great tumultuous sound of the kirtan.
প্রভুর কাজীনগরে আগমন ও কোটি কণ্ঠে হরিধ্বনি শ্রবণে যমনগণের ভীতি। সর্বলোক চূড়ামণি প্রভু বিশ্বম্ভর, আইলা নাচিয়া যথা কাজীর নগর।
The crown jewel of all people,
The crown jewel of all people,
Lord Vishwambar,
Lord Vishwambhar.
he came dancing
He came dancing
within the Kazi's neighborhood.
within the Qazi's neighborhood.
অভদ্রলোকের কাণ্ড। উদ্যত লোক ভাঙে কাজীর ঘর পুষ্পবন, বিস্তারে বর্ণিলা ইহা দাস বৃন্দাবন।
Naturally, some of the people who were very much agitated began to retaliate the Qazi's actions by wrecking his house and flower garden. Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur has elaborately described this incident.
কোটি কোটি হরিধ্বনি মহাকলাহল, স্বর্গ মত্ত পাতালাদি পুরিল সকল।
Millions of people chanting tumultuous sound of the names of Hari.
Millions of people made a tumultuous sound chanting the names of Hari.
That sound penetrated the entire universe.
That sound penetrated the entire universe,
The heavenly planets,
including the heavenly planets,
the earthly planets,
the earthly planets,
and the lower planets.
and the lower planets.
শুনিয়া কম্পিত কাজী গণ সহধায়, সর্প ভয়ে যেন ভেক ইন্দুর পালায়।
When they heard the loud sound of the kirtan,
When they heard the loud sound of the kirtan,
the Kazi trembled in fear
the Qazi trembled in fear
and ran away with his servants,
and ran away with his servants,
just as a mouse or frog run away out of fear of a snake.
just like a mouse or frog runs away out of fear of a snake.
পুরিল সকল স্থান বিশ্বম্ভর গণে, ভয়ে পলাইতে কেহ দিক নাহি জানে।
Lord Vishwambar's people filled up the entire area.
Lord Vishwambhar's people filled up the entire area.
In their fear, they wanted to run away,
In their fear, they wanted to run away,
but they didn't know which way to run,
but they didn't know which way to run,
since the entire area was filled with Vishwambar's followers.
since the entire area was filled with Vishwambhar's followers.
মাথায় ফেলিয়া পা কেউ সেই মেলে, অলক্ষিতে নাচয়ে অন্তরে প্রাণ হালে।
Some of them took off their turbans
Some of them took off their turbans
and joined the kirtan
and joined the kirtan.
as they danced incognito,
As they danced incognito,
unnoticed.
unnoticed.
Internally, they were trembling in fear.
They were trembling in fear. They were internally trembling in fear.
যার দাড়ি আছে সে হইয়া অধম, লাজে মাথা নাহি তোলে ডরে হালে বু।
Those who had beards, they hung their heads down.
Those who had beards, they hung their heads down.
Since they were embarrassed,
since they were embarrassed,
they didn't raise their heads,
they didn't raise their heads,
and their hearts trembled in fear.
and their hearts trembled in fear.
অনন্ত অর্বুদ লোক কেবা কারে চিনে আপনার দেহ মাত্র কেহ নাহি জানে।
The unlimited millions of people
The unlimited millions of people
didn't recognize anyone.
didn't recognize anyone.
They're not even aware of their own bodies.
They were not even aware of their own bodies.
Or to speak of recognizing others.
What to speak of recognizing others?
সবে নাচেন সবে গায়েন কৌতুকে ব্রহ্মাণ্ড পুরিয়া হরি বলে সর্বলোকে।
Everyone danced and everyone chanted in ecstasy.
Everyone danced and everyone chanted in ecstasy.
The whole universe was filled with the sound of Hari.
The whole universe was filled with the sound of Hari,
Hari's names.
with the sound of Hari.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol,
Chanted by all the people.
chanted by all the people.
So this kirtan, everyone was so ecstatic.
So in this kirtan, everyone was so ecstatic.
They were completely chanting loudly and it filled the whole universe.
They were completely chanting loudly and it filled the whole universe.
So the Qazi's men and his men became very afraid.
So the Qazi and his men became very afraid.
Some of the Qazi's men took off their Islamic turban
Somehow the Qazi's men took off their Islamic turban
and started dancing kirtan with the devotees,
and started dancing in kirtan with the devotees,
hoping they wouldn't be recognized.
hoping that they wouldn't be recognized.
And those who had beards,
And those who had beards,
they hung their head down
they hung their head down
because they were frightened that they would be recognized.
because they were frightened that they would be recognized.
We see people are protesting all over the world.
So we see people are protesting all over the world.
Here we see Lord Gauranga.
But here we see Lord Gauranga.
He was protesting that everyone has the right to worship the Lord
He was protesting that everybody should have the right to worship the Lord
in the way that he wants to.
in the way that he wants to.
So people should, if they do civil disobedience or protest,
So if people do civil obedience or protests,
they should see the example of Lord Chaitanya
they should see the example of Lord Chaitanya
and chant the holy names of the Lord.
and chant the holy names of the Lord.
So the Qazi was persecuting the Hindus,
So the Qazi was persecuting the Hindus.
but Lord Chaitanya, he was not afraid of the Qazi.
But Lord Chaitanya was not afraid of the Qazi.
So the Qazi became afraid of him.
So the Qazi became afraid of him.
And men ran, tried to hide.
His men ran and tried to hide.
He was in his room, he didn't know what to do. The Qazi went to his room.
The Qazi went to his room and he didn't know what to do.
So we see how the situation is
So we see how the situation is
established, how
established.
it's resolved. Now, this is the end of the chapter.
Now this is the end of the chapter, and the chapter is entitled Qazi and his men become frightened on hearing the Sankirtan.
And tomorrow is the Kshirodaya Mahotsav.
So tomorrow is the Chiradoi Mahotsav,
the Danda Mahotsav,
the Danda Mahotsav,
where Lord Nityananda punished Das Raghunath,
where Lord Nityananda punished Das Raghunath,
told him to feed all his associates.
told him to feed all his associates.
A picnic of flat rice, yogurt, and fruits.
A picnic of flat rice, yogurt, and fruits.
Tomorrow we're having a special observance,
So tomorrow we're having this special observance,
and different members of the community are also helping.
and different members of the community are also helping.
It's said that Lord Nityananda had 7 pots,
It is said that Lord Nityananda had 7 pots,
and everything else was. He invited Lord Chaitanya to come.
and he invited Lord Chaitanya to come.
So from South India he came there,
So from South India he came there,
but not everyone could see him.
but not everyone could see him.
Only a few could.
Only a few could.
But Lord Nityananda could.
Lord Nityananda could.
So that I'll be giving a class tomorrow morning and also in the evening.
So on that, I'll be giving a class tomorrow morning and also in the evening.
So that this will continue the day after tomorrow.
So this will continue day after tomorrow.
Tomorrow we're dedicating to the Chiradoi festival
Tomorrow we are dedicating to the Chiradoi festival
in Panihati.
in Panihati.
So if there are any questions today, we'll try to answer.
But if there are any questions today, I can answer.
Any questions?
Hare Krishna, my dear Guru Maharaj, take my respectful obeisances. I have a question, Guru Maharaj. Sometimes I try to serve or do something good for Vaishnavas.
Why only sometimes?
Why only sometimes? But sometimes they misunderstand me. Then I also lost my desire to serve Vaishnavas. In that case, how can I handle these situations? How can I prosper my desire of service to Vaishnavas, to those Vaishnavas? Your servant Aruna Kanti Gaurangi Aruna Kanti Gauranga Das, Bangladesh.
This is Lord Chaitanya in his 3rd verse of the Shikshastaka.
Just as Lord Chaitanya in the 3rd verse of his Sikshashtaka.
He says, Manadena Amanena. We should offer all respect to others and not expect any respect from ourselves.
He says, Amanina Manadena. We should offer all respect to others and expect no respect for ourselves.
So we want to serve the Vaishnavas because they're dear to Lord Krishna.
So we want to serve the Vaishnavas because they are dear to Lord Krishna.
And they may or may not appreciate.
And they may or may not appreciate.
But following Lord Chaitanya's instruction,
But following Lord Chaitanya's instruction,
we shouldn't be affected by that.
we shouldn't be affected by that.
We should continue to want to serve the Vaishnavas.
We should continue to want to serve the Vaishnavas.
Now, you can try to understand how we could improve.
Now you can try to understand how we can improve.
But we're doing so as a desire to please Krishna.
But we're doing so as a desire to please Krishna. Dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my respectful obeisances. All glories to your divine grace and Srila Prabhupada. Tomorrow is Panihati festival. Devotees in China don't have chira. They are asking what they can cook to offer and how they can celebrate. Thanks, your humble servant Marichi Das.
We don't have flat rice,
They don't have flat rice.
Sure. Good business to start there.
It's a good business to start there.
No competition.
No competition.
I saw ladies in the village handing out rice and making it flat rice.
I saw ladies in the village hammering down rice and making it flat rice.
With a type of a hammer that was on the end of a log.
With the type of a hammer that was at the end of a log.
And they danced on the log.
And they danced on the log, and the log was going up.
And they flattened the rice.
And they flattened the rice.
But I don't think that's very easy for them to do.
But I don't think that's very easy for anyone to do.
These ladies are empowered, they're very expert.
These ladies are empowered, they're very expert.
I don't know if there's any Indians in China or Indian stores that would have chira.
I don't know if there are any Indians or Indian stores that would have chira in China.
But if they don't have, you'll probably cook rice and mix it with fruit and yogurt.
If they don't have, you could probably cook rice and mix it with fruits and yogurt.
And different spices.
And different spices.
And that's the way they could celebrate.
And that's the way they could celebrate. Hare Krishna, dear Guru Maharaj. Please accept my respectful obeisances to your lotus feet. Please tell me, how can I guide the person who is asking how to select or get a spiritual master? He is desiring to get a guru very seriously. Your spiritual daughter, Rati Rupini Jhanava Devi Dasi.
It says that one accepts a Diksha Guru or the Shiksha Gurus, a Shiksha Guru that gives more enlightening instructions.
It is said that normally one accepts a Diksha Guru from the Shiksha Guru
who gives most relevant personal instructions.
Who gives the most personal and relevant instructions.
So, this devotee could accept some gurus as Shiksha Guru.
So these devotees could accept some devotees as some gurus as Shiksha Guru.
And take instruction from the Shiksha Gurus.
And take instruction from the Shiksha Gurus.
And see which guru they feel is representing Prabhupada more.
And see which guru they feel is representing Prabhupada more
for them.
For them.
And ultimately take shelter.
And ultimately take shelter.
And then that's the final test.
And that is the final test.
When they think that they have found their guru, then they take initiation.
And when they think that they found their guru, they take initiation.
So that's one way I have 15 or so questions one could ask oneself. I have a number of questions.
I have a number of questions that one could ask oneself.
To understand who's one's Diksha Guru.
To understand who's one's Diksha Guru.
One has one Diksha Guru, but there's no limit to how many Shiksha Gurus I can have.
One has one Diksha Guru, but there is no limit to how many Shiksha Gurus they can have. Hare Krishna Gurudev, please accept my respectful obeisances unto your lotus feet. How to preach to Durga Devi worshippers without offending them. They are getting angry if we call her Maya Devi. Question by Mangala Mai Malini Devi Dasi.
You see, Durga Devi is also a great Vaishnavi,
You see, Durga Devi is also a great Vaishnavi,
and she's the protectress of the holy Dham,
and she is the protectress of the holy Dham.
and so we need her mercy to enter into the holy Dham.
So we need her mercy to enter into the holy Dham.
I usually tell the worshippers of Devas
I usually tell the worshippers of Devas
or Devi
or Devis
they should first worship Krishna,
that they should first worship Krishna,
offer Krishna Prasad to Durga Devi or Shiva,
and offer Krishna Prasad to Durga Devi or Shiva,
because they're devotees. They like to have Krishna Prasad.
because they are devotees, they like to have Krishna Prasadam.
In Calcutta, the old Durga Puja pandals,
In Calcutta, the old Durga Puja pandals,
they worship Shaligram Shila first.
they worshipped Shaligram Shilas first,
And then they offer the prasadam
and then they offer the prasadam
to Durga Devi.
to Durga Devi.
But most people don't realize what they're doing.
But most people don't realize what they are doing.
The Durga Devi is not independent.
Durga Devi is not independent.
She's the energy of Krishna.
She is an energy of Krishna.
So, preach in that way that you worship Krishna first,
So if you preach to them that way, that you worship Krishna first,
then you offer the prasadam to Durga Devi.
then you offer the prasadam to Durga Devi.
Usually they're not offended by that.
And usually they're not offended by that. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Guru Maharaj. Question. Still people are persecuted while they attempt to preach in communist government country. So how can devotees relate to this pastimes while seeing Mahaprabhu leading civil disobedience? Question by Kamalendra Singh Rathore.
He is a regular questioner. See, Gauranga Mahaprabhu, he was able to bring all the people of Navadvip
You see, Gauranga Mahaprabhu, he was able to bring all the people of Navadvip
under his leadership.
under his leadership.
And they all marched on the kirtan on the house of the Chandkazi.
And they all marched in Kirtan on the house of the Chandkazi.
And unfortunately, in most communist countries,
Unfortunately, in most communist countries,
we're not able to get all the people mobilized.
we're not able to get all the people mobilized.
But I think they can appreciate that Lord Chaitanya, being the Supreme Person of Godhead,
But I think that they could appreciate that Lord Chaitanya, being the Supreme Personality of Godhead,
he was able to mobilize everyone.
he was able to mobilize everyone.
Therefore, they could do civil disobedience.
Therefore, they could do civil disobedience.
Maybe in a communist country
But maybe in a communist country
where we have a minor presence,
where we have a minor presence,
so you cannot do civil disobedience.
so we cannot do civil disobedience.
But we try to blend into the population.
But we try to blend in to the population.
I was saying that in some communist countries,
I have seen that in some communist countries,
they have the face recognition,
they have the face recognition,
and they keep track of all the people.
and they keep track of all the people.
So, as long as we're not against the government, they usually don't care too much.
So as long as we're not against the government, they don't usually care too much.
but so that we try to spread our message without offending anyone.
So then we try to spread our message without offending anyone.
But certainly it's very beneficial that if people are practicing their Krishna consciousness even under great difficulty.
But certainly it's very beneficial that people are practicing Krishna consciousness even though there is great difficulty.
Krishna certainly appreciates their sacrifice.
So Krishna certainly appreciates their sacrifice. Guru Maharaj, my humble pranam. How to avoid negativity amongst devotees? Transgressing the devotees sometimes due to their certain actions of some devotees brings negativity and we end up transgressing them either mentally or in person. Your spiritual daughter and your humble servant, Nagnajiti Rani Devi Dasi.
Prabhupada answered this question that Krishna conscious movement is a hospital. He answered this question that
Prabhupada answered this question
that Krishna consciousness temples are hospitals.
that Krishna conscious temples are hospitals.
What do you find in hospitals?
What do you find in hospitals?
If you find sick people, is it something surprising?
If you find sick people, is it something surprising?
People go to the hospital because they're sick,
People go to the hospital because they're sick
and they have doctors that treat them,
and they have doctors that treat them
and nurses that take care of them.
and nurses that take care of them.
So like that, some of the people may be fellow patients,
So like that, some of the people may be fellow patients.
and doctor is the guru,
And doctor is the guru.
and he has his advanced disciples are like the nurses.
And he has his advanced disciples who are like the nurses.
So if another patient acts sick,
So if another patient acts sick,
we expect it.
it's to be expected.
So one should not be negative because of that.
So one should not be negative because of that.
Rather, sick people are going to be becoming healed.
Rather, the sick people are becoming healed.
But while they're healing, they may show some symptoms of illness.
But while they're healing, they may show some symptoms of illness.
So we shouldn't take it very seriously.
So we shouldn't take it very seriously.
When they're Nagnajiti Rani Devi Dasi.
Nagnajiti Rani Devi Dasi.
2, 1, 1, 1. No questions?
More questions.
Huh?
Answer more.
Huh?
More questions, Kumar.
So, 2:15, 21:15.
Question. Dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my respectful obeisances at your lotus feet. How can I increase my faith to Guru and Gauranga that they will mercy me surely, although I am a very fallen soul? I have no quality to serve them and to get their mercy. Your daughter, Meenakshi Radhika Devi Dasi.
Lord Chaitanya said that he would deliver even the most fallen.
Lord Chaitanya said that he would deliver even the most fallen.
And so that's your qualification.
So that's your qualification.
You say you're the most fallen, you're very fallen.
You're saying that you're most fallen, you're very fallen.
So he said he will deliver the very fallen and most fallen.
He said he would deliver the very fallen and most fallen.
he just advised one should avoid offenses to the Vaishnavas.
He just advised that one should avoid offenses to the Vaishnavas.
So, why do you say you have not the quality
So
to
why
get
do
their
you say,
mercy?
so why do you say that you don't have the quality to get His mercy?
You're not fallen enough?
You're not fallen enough?
Uh-huh.
Hare Krishna, dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my respectful obeisances.
Yes,
All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
try.
During the lockdown, many people are relaxed and staying at home, not showing an interest in spiritual life. How can we inspire them to value and appreciate Krishna? Servant of your servant. Ram Kanai Mathuresh Das. Reading from UK.
Well, there may be some people who are lazy,
Well, there may be some people who are lazy,
but in general we find that people are more interested.
but in general we find that people are more interested.
Recently in Chennai, they advertised on the social media
Recently in Chennai, they advertised on social media
that they are having a class for beginners
that they were having a class for beginners
on Bhagavad Gita.
on Bhagavad Gita.
Oh, they expected about 100 people.
And they expected like about 100 people.
9,000 people registered.
And 9,000 people registered.
9,000!
9,000.
So much interest.
So much interest.
And maybe a few people who are lazy in the lockdown.
There may be a few people who are lazy in the lockdown,
But many people are very interested
but many people are very interested
because they're seeing that the government, the doctors, the scientists,
because they're seeing that the government, the doctors, the scientists,
they want to do something.
they want to do something,
But there's a limit to how much they can do.
but there is a limit to how much they can do.
And there's a thing that people all around them are getting sick, they're dying.
And they're saying that people all around them, they're getting sick, they're dying.
They want to know what is the solution, what is the reason why we're suffering.
They want to know what is the solution, what is the reason why they're suffering.
I just got a letter from the Sri Lankan president
I just heard from the Sri Lankan president
of our temple
of our temple
that the government called the interfaith meeting.
that the government called an interfaith meeting.
Does your scripture say anything about pandemics?
Does your scriptures say anything about pandemics?
What is the solution?
And what is the solution?
So actually in the Bhagavad, in different Puranas,
So actually in different Puranas,
they say that to cure incurable diseases,
to cure incurable diseases,
chant the name of Hari,
chant the name of Hari,
chant the name of Krishna,
chant the name of Krishna,
Govinda,
Govinda.
various verses.
And there are various verses.
So actually for our devotees, we don't want to chant for any material reason.
So actually for the devotees, we don't want to chant for any material reason,
Because we want to get love of Krishna.
because we want to get love of Krishna.
But for the people who have this concern or desire,
But for the people who have this concern or desire,
it's better that they take shelter of Krishna.
it's better that they take shelter of Krishna.
There's a verse in the Bhagavatam.
There's
That's
there's this verse in the Bhagavatam.
Akama va mukta. How that verse goes?
Akamo sarva kamo va moksha kamo udarati tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param.
Whether you have no desire, all desire, or desire for liberation,
Whether you have many desires or no desires or desire for liberation,
you should engage in pure devotional
you
service.
should engage in pure devotional service.
So, whatever the situation is,
So whatever their situation is,
encourage them to chant Hare Krishna.
you encourage them to chant Hare Krishna.
And chant the name of Nitai Gaura,
and chant the name of
Nitai Gauranga,
Nitai Gauranga,
Nitai Gauranga,
Nitai Gauranga,
Nitai Gauranga.
Nitai Gauranga.
So even today, if one chants the name of Nitai Gauranga,
Even if today one chants the name of Nitai and Gauranga,
they get symptoms of ecstasy in their body.
they get symptoms of ecstasy in their body.
Haribo.
Hari Bol.
And then a class in the evening again.
And then a class in the evening again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Have a happy Tuesday. What's up?
Have a happy Chiradoi Mahotsav.
Haribo.
Do you like our ad-free videos? Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day, and don't forget to like and share our channel.